Okay, we're on to nibs. There are many different nibs and each one is different and each produces a different kind of line. I don't have a lot. I have, oh, hey, yeah. So there is an advantage to fast drying ink. Never mind. I'm full of ink anyway. My collection is pretty humble. I also managed to ruin some of my nibs. Maybe I should tell you about that so you can watch out. I'll show you. Okay, these 4 came in a Speedball set with this holder. It's a straight plastic holder, and I think this is very commonly found. In Israel we don't have much of a selection of nibs and nib holders, even in art supply shops, unfortunately. And still the Speedball sets, there's also a few other sets, calligraphy sets, and I'm not sure what else. They're very easy to find. I really like this holder. I find it very convenient. It holds regular sized nibs, and sorry, a tiny blackout. I want to remember to mention one issue I have with this holder. I have this Zebra G nib, and when I put it in my Speedball holder, if you see, and if I put another nib in, it stands fairly right. You feel ink up until the, I hope I'm in the center, that you're focused. You feel your ink above the hole in the middle of the nib, so that you have enough ink to write. And what happens with the Zebra G, which is actually nice, it's very firm and it creates nice thin lines that I really enjoy practicing with. But when I put it in my Speedball holder, look how far in it goes. All this is inside the holder, and what happens when I dip it into the ink, I have to really watch out. Filling the reservoir is very close to the holder itself, and I have to really watch out when I fill it so that I don't get ink into the holder, as well as when I'm cleaning. Don't be horrified, this is just ink in this ugly water. Can you see it? No. When I clean, I dip it in the water, and again I have to be very careful not to get it wet, because what happens is if you get ink and water into this hole, then once you have a nib in it, and I never leave them overnight, but I do leave them on while I'm writing. And this nib, for example, you can see it's fairly clean on the top part, but the part that goes into the holder is inky and it feels very rusty. So I think I'm ruining this nib just because my holder is dirty inside and I don't know how to clean it. I tried just dipping it in water, but I haven't left it overnight. Another nib I managed to ruin pretty much straight away is this tiny one. This is, I think, the Hunt 99, and when I got them I looked online on how to clean them, how to get them started, and what I read and watched was that the nibs come with a protective layer of factory oil so they won't rust and get spoiled before they get to us. And to remove you need initially to remove this oil, and there are certain ways to do it. Some people use rubbing alcohol, some use spit, and some put it on a lighter or a candle just above a little candlelight. And I did that with this little nib, and I managed to ruin it before I even started using it. You can see that it's got very strange colors. It's all blue and white and brown, and what I unknowingly did was I heated it too much and I ruined the metal, because they are made very specifically, and once the metal starts to warm up too much it bends. I can still use this nib, but it's my least favorite one, and it might be my own fault. So you have different nibs. Some are more tough and unflexible, and they go every direction very easily. Some are very flexible. I hope you can see. Very flexible, and they tend to scratch going upwards. And some are mid-range. They have some flex, and you can still draw with them and go all around. Again, these are the hands. This is 513, 512, 101, and I think this is the 99. I have also a Browser Blue Pumpkin. It's the 361 steno nib. It's semi-flexible. I have the Zebra G, which is not very flexible but creates a very fine line, and you can draw with it. And I have this baby one. It always makes me laugh. I was so surprised by its size. This is another Browser nib. It's called the Arrow. It's 66EF. It does have an incredible flex, and I like it very much, especially on the higher quality paper. And I do have a maroon nib, but that's a different story for a different video. Okay, this is getting low. Whiskey! Sorry, that's my dog. Whiskey, שקט בבקשה. לא. Yeah, she understands Hebrew. So another point I wanted to make about the nibs, initially I wanted to use my most flexible one with a copperplate, because I really wanted to get the thick and thin lines, the shade lines. And let me see if I can find an example here. Okay, this is a beginning. It's my second day, and you can see I was really trying with the thick lines. And if I look for the training page from today or the last few days, hold on. Yeah, I'm using wait, I always try to close my ink so it doesn't spill by mistake. So as you can hopefully see, the thick lines can create those beautiful shading, but when I look at the whole page, it seems very intense to me, Probably more so because I'm still learning and my handwriting isn't very good yet, but it's too much. And when I use a lighter nib, and this is also a different size, but this is the same size, and you can see I'm using a thinner nib, a less flexible nib, and the page itself feels nicer. It's more airy, it's got more space in it, it's more spacious. And another advantage I find of using the thinner nib is that when you write, maybe I can show you. I'm using the Hunt 101, and let's make an O. Never mind the size at the moment. And let's make a D. So when I write them with the thick nib, the thick lines actually hide the place where I connect the letter when I write it. Let's use the zebra now. Oh, it goes so deep inside, it's so frightening. I have to be very careful, and it's not optimal. When I write with this one, I have nowhere to hide, and if I make my my shapes bad or incorrectly, you can see it. If I made the D starting at the top and my movie stopped, so just a recap in case it didn't record. When I was writing with the thick nib, with the flexible nib, I can hide my connecting places where I finish the oval and start the line. With the thin nib, I cannot hide. And for training, I think this is very useful because I can see what I should correct, what I should practice more. And also, I think the overall is actually more elegant. It's more delicate. It's like I wouldn't use heavy shading in Photoshop. I wouldn't use heavy shading in letters, at least not now, until I get better at it. So I think that's all I had to say about nibs. Oh, one other point is that while I do have a specific favorite every now and then, I change up and I try a different nib, and I find that my favorites keep changing over time, depending on the ink I'm working on, the paper I'm working on, and the size of text I'm working on. Okay, thank you.